And images are same like snapshots. Like images can be copied from one region to other region, can be shared from one account to another account. By default, images are private and we can public. And guys, where are all the public images are available? I'm not asking for, yeah, I'm not asking where it is stored. Uh, yes. So public images are available in marketplace. Very good. So guys, if you take the image parallelly, how many volumes does it has? Those many snapshots will be created. Yes or no? Yes. Do you remember the concept of custom AMI and golden AMI? Yes. And then we discuss about the cluster networking instances. There we have cluster placement group, spread placement group, and then partition placement group. Cluster meaning all the EC2 instance will be in the same availability zone, same rack. Spread meaning spread across multiple availability zones. And in each availability zone, how many EC2 instances you can have in spread? 7. And how many partitions you can have? Again, 7. And in each partitions, you can have hundreds of EC2 instances. And then later we discuss about the key pair. What is key pair? Hmm? Key pair is used to retrieve the password of EC2 instance. And also I told you key pair is the combination of public key and private key. So what is the extension of the key pair? .file is a private key or public key? It's a private key. One PEM file can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. Yes, but one EC2 instance can have how many key pairs attached? Only one. What is the default username for Windows EC2 instance? Administrator. And for Linux? EC2 user. And what is the protocol that you use to connect? What is the client that you use to connect the Windows machine? RDP, remote desktop. And for Linux? SSH. Is it good if you have attached one key pair to 100 EC2 instances? Is it good to have one key pair to 100 EC2 instances? No. Is it good if you lost your PEM file? It's not good. So how to handle this? So guys, let's say, okay, let me share my screen now. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. So let's imagine, so we have so many EC2 instances, guys. We have so many EC2 instances. Wow. EC2 images. There's so many EC2 images. Okay. We have many EC2 instances here. All right. So we have these many EC2 instances. Okay. And guys, and each EC2 instances is related to, let's say this EC2 instance is used by DevOps people. There are few EC2 instances which are used by the DevOps people. Like these are few instances which are used by the DevOps people. These are all related to DevOps. And few EC2 instances are related to developer, dev. It's all dev. And few EC2 instances are related to admin or let's say HR, for example, HR related. Okay. So guys, now tell me now how many key pairs that I need to create for this requirement? 3 key pairs we need to create it. One is DevOps key pair, DevOps.pem file, and then dev.pem file, and then hr.pem file. Okay. Okay. So each, see, this DevOps pem file will be attached to these, all these DevOps things. They will be attached to this, and then HR will be attached to all these EC2 instances. Okay. Now DevOps people, I have members. Okay, members. So if these people have to log into the EC2 instance, all these all these 10 users should have DevOps.pem file to themselves, or should only the admin will have. So let's say, for example, if I have the DevOps.pem file, these 10 people all the time will ask to me that to give the password of that instances. Is that good to ask admin each and every time to have the password? No. So that meaning, guys, I need to share this DevOps.pem file to all 10 people. Yes or no? Is it good? Guys, this DevOps.pem file, if you give this DevOps.pem file to the EC2 instance, it will give the admin password. It will give the admin password. So no. Is it good to share the full access to the users by giving admin and password, because you are giving directly the PEM file to them? It's not good, because if you give the PEM file, it will give the admin password. And also, how many people will be log in using administrator at the same time? For Windows machine, how many people can log in at the same time? If everyone has the same username and everyone has the same password, and how these people, 10 people, will be logged into the same machine? Is it possible? No. So the thing is, I should not share the PEM file to them. Guys, don't share PEM to people, right? And don't share admin password also. So you are not sharing the PEM file and you are not sharing the admin password to them. And how these people can log into these machines? How these people should not depend on the admin to log into the EC2 instance to get the password all the time. Either they should have the PEM file. I'm not sharing the PEM file. And how do they log in? Do they need to ask me every time for the passwords? No. And how do they log in then? Everyone understood the question? Guys, everyone understood the question? Everyone, tell me. For Linux is possible, but do you share the PEM file to them? For Linux also? Then do you share the PPK to them? No, no. Then so guys, for this reason only, do you remember we discussed this already? Do you remember we discussed about Active Directory, guys? Active Directory. What is that Active Directory called in AWS? Directory services, right? Yes. So let's say, for example, we have a domain called boom.com, right? So guys, instead of all these 10 users, I'll create these 10 users over here. User 1, user 2, right? User 1 at the rate boom.com. Remember, we discussed this. These are called domain users, These are called domain users. 3, 4, right? Like this. We have user 10. Guys, are you with me? So I'll create the users like this. So I'll create the users like this at domain controller there. And then can I add all these EC2 instances? Can I join to this directory? Can I join all these EC2 instances to this directory? See, I join all the EC2 instances to that directory. Use the word called use see join to domain or join to directory. So I will join all these EC2 instances to this directory. Now user one has to log into this DevOps machine, for example. Now tell me, does he has username and password which is created here in the domain directory? Yes. So he has his own username and password. So he will be logging as user1@boom.com. He will be logging into this EC2 instance. So this user need to have PEM file with him. This user need to have PEM file. No need of PEM file. No need of PEM file, guys. He can log into with his own username and password because all these EC2 instances are joined to this directory and the username is created over here. And now can you tell me, can multiple people log in now with the different usernames and passwords? Yes. Understood, guys? And then the PEM file should be always with the PEM should be always with admin only. So just in case if the user come and ask, hey, I need to have admin permissions, then due to very rare case, you need to share the PEM file. Don't share the PEM file. Guys, understood? Do you understood now? The PEM file will be only with the admin and you will be having the domain directly. So guys, in a real time, this will be the situation. But we cannot set up Active Directory services here because these are all paid services, right? So you need to pay some $1,000 per month for all this setup. But at least this will be the scenario in your real time in your company. Now understood, guys? The problem with the key pair and how to solve this and how and all the things. Everyone CC. Before I go to the next important topic. Okay, very good. Each EC2 instance will have its own key pair. That's fine. Apart from that, these EC2 instances will be joined to that directory because the key pair will be having with the admin guy for administrator access, and the users will be logging to the EC2 instance with the domain users, user@boom.com. Okay, the next important topic, very, very important topic, that is write down security groups. Security groups. Security groups. So when we talk about the security groups, I remember in our starting days, we discussed about firewall. Can anyone tell what is firewall? Can anyone tell what is firewall? Yes, which stops unauthorized access to the network. That's what we have learned. Na? Don't call it as like a filter, like a purifier. eh? Like don't say like that, guys. You are in the middle of the course, okay? So you have to use the technical words here. That's the reason why I'm writing every time all the things. You have to use the same wordings. Don't call it as stop axis or stop persons or stop these filters. And no. So call it so clearly say which stops unauthorized access to the network. That is firewall. So in that here, this firewall, this firewall is nothing but we call it as security group. This firewall is nothing but security group. Got it, guys? What is this firewall called here? Security group. Do you remember in security group we always go and allow and deny? Na? Remember we discussed this. Whenever we want, we allow. Whenever we don't want, we don't allow it. Simple. So can we say that now? Security group is nothing but security group stops unauthorized access to the EC2 instance. Yes or no? Every EC2 instance should be secured, right? Every EC2 instance should be secured, right? So can we say that security group is nothing but which stops unauthorized access to the EC2 instance? So see how I'm writing all these things. So can I say that now security group is used to secure the EC2 instance? Can we say this? Hannah? So can I say this security group acts like a firewall to secure the EC2 instance? This is a definition of security group. Simple. Simple, isn't it? So let's say, for example, we have this. So here we have this. Mm. Okay, let me write what all it now. You know very well the outer layer is AWS and the inner layer is region. And then we have what? VPC. Guys, inside the VPC, I'm writing a new word. I'll talk about that. Don't worry on this word, NACL. After that, we have security group, right? After that, we have the EC2 instance. Okay, availability is on and all that are all GGP now. So we have EC2 instance. So guys, so in order to talk about, in order to touch the EC2 instance, you need to go all the way to like this. In order to talk to the EC2 instance, it has to go through all these things. Yes or no? Okay. So now do not worry about what are all this. I'll come to it. But remember, now, let's say, for example, we know that security group is nothing but it is used to secure the EC2 instance. So let me take an example. Guys, this is the EC2 instance. Okay, see here. This is the EC2 instance, and I am having the application here. It's very important. Guys, I told you that every EC2 instance is secured with the security group. So this EC2 instance is secured with the security group on top. Yes or no? So every EC2 instance will have its own security group, SG. So now, in security groups, guys, there are two types of rules. How many types of rules are there in security group? Two types of rules. I'll write down. Security group has two types of rules. Security groups has two types of rules. Number one, write down everyone, inbound rule and outbound rule. Two rules. Inbound rule and outbound rule. Everyone should write down this. Inbound rules and outbound rules. So inbound rules meaning what is which allows the traffic towards EC2 instance, right? Inward. Outbound rule, which sends the traffic outside EC2 instance. Guys, the security group is like Kattappa. EC2 instance is like Bahubali, right? So, right? So, if anyone wants to talk to the Bahubali, to whom he need to talk first? He need to talk to the Kattappa, right? So Kattappa is a security for the Bahubali. The same way here is a security for EC2 instance is nothing but this security group, right? So anything that it has to talk to, that can be any traffic, any protocol, anything, it has to reach to the EC2 instance, it has to go through the security groups. So guys, by default, let's say, for example, I have launched an EC2 instance, I put application, I have I have attached a security group to the EC2 instance, guys. Is there anything ports enabled or open on the security group by default? By default, door is closed, no? Guys, by default, that kingdom, Bahubali, what is that kingdom? Mahishmati, door is closed. Whoever has access, they will go inside it. So here security group is also like that. It's a big door to the EC2 instance. By default, the door is open? No. So you need to get the permission. So you need to tell that, hey, let's say, for example, guys, I have an application. For application meaning which protocol is used in order to access the application? Which protocol? To access applications, which protocol will be used? Hmm? Few people are just dumbly sitting. Phone वहां पे दूर पे रख दे के laptop, just lying down and then listening it. If you don't respond, you don't get it in your brains. I'm not telling to the people who are responding, but I'm telling to the people those who are not responding. It's up to you. Huh? If you respond, it's good for you. So, as you said, HTTP or HTTPS. So, guys, in security groups, we need to allow the protocols. Okay, now you tell me, guys, now you tell me, okay, now by default, all inbound rules are allowed or deny. You tell me that. By default, inbound rules are everyone. See, by default, inbound rules are deny because nothing is allowed. So if you want, you can go and allow it. So I will. So now my requirement is that I need to allow the what protocol I need to allow in order to access my application? HTTP. So I need to go ahead and then allow HTTP on what port number? 80. So you need to allow it. You need to allow it. So we need to create a rule. Need to create a rules. Okay, now I need to log into the EC2 instance. That EC2 instance is Windows EC2 instance. Can you tell me what protocol that I need to allow in order to log into the EC2 instance? Windows EC2 instance, what protocol should be allowed? RDP, na? Right? RDP, right? Yes. So we need to allow RDP on port 3389. Remember? So guys, it's all about allowing the port numbers, protocols, and port numbers on the security group. Getting it? So now, what are the rules, protocols that is allowed in the security group here? What are the? I giving examples, Sumit. You have to understand. I'm not setting up the real-time environment here. Okay. So only HTTP and RDP is allowed as an inbound rule, and rest everything are allowed or deny. REST protocols, everything are rest are all deny. So guys, remember by default inbound rules are deny. And guys, let's say whatever we are allowing it, that is coming inside. And how about for the outbound rule? By default, outbound rules are deny or allowed? Allowed, because we have already filtered what are the protocols that it has to come in. So by default, all the outbound rules are allowed. Whatever is coming in, it has to go out. So if you're going to the any shopping mall, you will do the security will do the massage for you at the entrance. So while going, will he do the checking again? No, right? So guys, these are all super certification questions. So by default, inbound rules are deny. And how about outbound rules? Outbound rules are allowed. Outbound rules are allowed. Another question for you guys. Is it possible to deny any protocols in the security group? Is it possible to deny any? It is possible to specifically deny any protocols in the security group? Guys, everyone will say wrong answer. So guys, everything is deny. What is there to deny especially? By default, everything is deny. Na? Is it possible for me to go and deny HTTP? Can I add a rule like deny HTTP? No. So guys, in security group, you can only allow, you cannot deny, because everything is denied now already. The door is closed. Is it possible? Is it possible to deny protocol in security group? Question. Answer is no. Why? I'm writing all these things for you. See, because by default, inbound rules are denied. By default, inbound rules are denied. So in security groups, you can only allow. Security groups, security group, you can only allow protocols, not deny. Now guys, you cannot even forget this. And remember, every EC2 instance should have at least one security group attached. Na? Every EC2 instance, without security group, EC2 instance cannot be there. Every EC2 instance must have at least one security group attached. Is it possible to have multiple security groups also attached to the one single EC2 instance? Yes. Yes. You can attach multiple security groups, no issues. You can create multiple security groups and you can attach multiple security groups to the single EC2 instance. Guys, rest of the formalities yet? I think admin has just sent a message that tomorrow those who have not cleared all this your formalities, they will not get allowed in the class. Please take care of it. Okay. They have given a lot of chances, guys. I think tomorrow they don't give. I'm assuming it. Okay. So guys, now for everything, AWS will give you something default. So remember, AWS EC2 has a default security group. What is that? Everyone say this. EC2 instance has default. AWS EC2 has a default security group, guys. So we will be using the default security group and we'll be using the default. I'll talk more about it, but just write down. First of all, write down default security group. So AWS will have the default security group. EC2 instance will give you the default security group. But can we create our own security group? Yes. AWS in many services, he will give few default things. We'll be using the default things, but we can create our own security groups also. But in our course, I would recommend you to go and use only default security group. Why? I'll tell you this. See the real time, what I'm see. So why I'm telling you to use the default security group, because this is the problem everyone will face. So guys, let's say we have so many EC2 instances. Let's say these many EC2 instances. Okay, now. So can we create multiple security groups? Yes. These are all EC2. Can we create multiple security groups? So if you create multiple security group for each and every EC2 instance, you will have its own security group. Yes or no? Different security groups. So I'm assuming that you are creating multiple security groups. Yes. Let's say, for example, you have multiple security groups got created like this. So now you have a requirement that you need to log into this EC2 instance. In the console on the left side, there will be a menu called security groups, and all the security groups will be there like this. Guys, you need to log into the EC2 instance, but due to the first time or as you are new to this AWS, you have a lot of possibility that you will get confused and you will be adding security group rules to another security group. You will be adding inbound rules to another security group, but you want to log into this EC2 instance. Is that possible? Will it work? No. You have to add an inbound rules only to the security group which is attached to this EC2 instance. Will you add the inbound rule to this security group? No. So guys, unnecessarily you will have all these confusions. So that's the reason why, as you are new to it, you should not get confused with all these things initially. For that reason, don't create multiple security groups. Let's have only one security group for all the EC2 instances. For all EC2 instances, let's have only one security group. And what is the security group is that we will be using it? That is default security. So now, how many EC2 instances that you create? Can you attach one default security group to multiple EC2 instances? Can you attach one security group to multiple EC2 instances? Yes. So there will be only one security group, and we're doing inbound rules to only one security group. And you don't have any problems. You can easily work and learn. So if you are, sir, when do I create multiple security groups? That, guys, once you are habituated, once you go to the real time, you will be creating it. Okay, let me give you that example also for you, real time example. When do you create multiple security groups? See, you might have understand this. What is this? Lambawala load balancer, right? So these are all the application servers. Just giving an example. So in the back, you have a database servers also, DBs. See. See. So this is the load balancer. Okay, now. So this is, I'm talking about the real time. See, now this is the load balancer. Now in real time, Chita, you tell me, is it good to have one default security group for all these things in real time? That's really bullshit, right? So isn't it good to create a separate security group for this load balancers? Because, guys, you tell me, load balancer will listen from what, which protocols? We need to enable what protocols in the load balancer security group? Load balancer listen on what protocols? Yes, HTTP or HTTPS. So in this security group, in this ELB SG, this is a load balancer security group. So in these load balancer security groups, I will allow only HTTP and HTTPS. So can I create another security group for separately for application servers? See how secured I'm doing it. See, so this is called app SG, app security group. And for this also, I'll just create a separate database. So once you learned all these things, so in real time, you'll be doing just like that, everything. So this one, we call it as DBSG. Guys, so in this app security group, I will allow there is a question, why don't we keep complete secured? That's what I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing it. So guys, if you are using only one default security group for all these things, so you will be in doing the inbound rules for only this default security group. Is that good? All the rules will be only in the one security group. Is it possible to separate for this? And that is really very bad actually. It's less secure also, right? So if you do like this, so people cannot cross. Okay, now see, all the traffic is coming to this security group. Will it go like this directly? No, no, right? So we can also secure like this. See, so guys, here load balancer, we have allowed HTTP and HTTPS, but there is a question: from where do you allow? That is nothing but source. Where do you allow it? Which source that you allow it? Guys, your application, your load balancer should be accessed by everyone. Na? Yes or no? Actually, there are three types of sources, Chicha. See, we call it as custom, anywhere, MyAP. Write down these three. There are three types of sources. There are three types of sources. Custom meaning you can set only a custom network. So you can set only custom network, only particular place. Anywhere meaning it will be allowed anywhere, meaning 000 all traffic. That meaning everyone can access it. My IP meaning, guys, only you. Only you. So guys, if you go with only my IP, if you use the source, see guys, whenever any inbound rule is happening, it will be like this. So the sample example for inbound rule is like this. So first, you need to select the port number, so protocol. After that, you have port number. Huh? After that, you have mainly source. Mainly, these are the three things. Yeah. Whenever you're doing the inbound rule, right? Mainly, you have the three things. Now I'll write the example. See which protocol you are allowing? HTTP. On which port? 80. And what source? You want custom anywhere on my IP. So let's say, for example, I go anywhere. Anywhere meaning 000 like this. If you add this inbound rule, port 80 will be everyone can access our load balancer using HTTP. Guys, your website should be accessed by everyone, na? So no. But if you want to be private, then go for my IP. If you go for my IP, only you will be accessing it, not everyone will be accessing it. You're getting it? Custom meaning only some particular network range, only that will get your load balancer will be accessed only for that networking. Guys, that is nothing but source. Is it clear on the source, everyone? Is it, do you understand? Everyone on the source? Now, see, these are all architecting. Guys, now load balancer, for load balancer security group, what is the source that we should be enabling it in the real time? In load balancer security, what is the source? I want my website to be accessed the entire world. So which one I should be using it? Anywhere. Very good. For app security group, what is the source that I should from where I should get the traffic to the app SG? Yes, custom. Custom meaning which one? From which place I need to get the traffic to the app security group? From where I need to receive the traffic to the app security group? From the ELB. So you can use custom and you can use ELB SG. Guys, so if you go to custom, you can enable this security groups also. You can do inbound of the security group also. And let's say for this here now, okay, now we have the source. Okay, for this again, we need to use custom. Now you tell me what is from where I need to receive the traffic inbound? Yes, app SG. So if you do security like this, guys, so all the traffic will hit it and it cannot jump from here to here and hit it directly, or it cannot jump it like this, because the source, all traffic should come definitely from this only. So there is no other way the traffic will be coming directly to this or directly to this. So this is actual real-time secure architecture that we will be using it in real time. Guys, see, understood easily, everyone? For doing all these things, people will charge a lot of money. Understood? Okay. So ask it. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and write it here. Okay. Okay. So now, yes. No, for source as anywhere, we still need to use ELB. So we do have to define in app SG. Yes. For one app SG, we need to allow the inbound rules. Hey, so what protocols that you have to use, that protocols you need to enable it. So guys, remember, many people might have a doubt that RDP is used for what? Guys, RDP is used for what? Is used to log in or connect remotely to Windows EC2 instance. Right? So, and SSH is used to connect to the Linux EC2 instance. And whereas HTTP or HTTPS is used to access the applications. So if you have the EC2 instance like this, okay, so this is the EC2 instance. So this is the EC2 instance. So for the EC2 instance, who will be there? Security group will be there. So for the security group, you have inbound rule and outbound rule. So we have inbound, and the security group you have outbound. So all inbound rules are deny, whereas all outbound rules are allowed. Okay. So if at all you need to add any rule, just go ahead and add whatever rule that you want. So let's say you have to go and add SSH rule. So go ahead and add SSH rule, and rest everything will be denied. There is a question: what will be there inside the inbound rules? What will be there in the inbound rules? Right? Rules only, na? What protocol should be allowed? What port number should be allowed? I gave the example also. Bhushan, you're asking again that. I see. This is what you will be having it. This is what you will be having in the inbound rule. Okay. And also I told you clearly that if you have a EC2 instance, let's say each EC2 instance will have its own security group, or each EC2 instance, all the EC2 instance can have only one security group also. Possible? Every EC2 instance can also have its own security group. Yes. Each EC2 instance can have also their own security group, but it can have also one security group. It's all based on the architecture. So you have to understand one EC2 instance, you can attach many security groups attached. For one EC2 instance, you can attach multiple security groups, no issues. One security group can be attached to many EC2 instances. You know, one default security group, can we use it for many EC2 instances? Yes. And then we discuss about and then we discuss about the source. We have three types of source. What are the three types of source? Outbound rules just don't care. That's it. Just don't care. We don't even go there at all. So custom anywhere and then my IP. Now you tell me, guys, in our course, which source that we should be using it all the time? Guys, in our course, which source that, guys, see, you are not thinking at all. What? If you use anywhere, everyone can access your own account. You want everyone to access your EC2 instances? Then which one will you use then? Customized meaning customized network. Do you have any customized network with you? No. Then which one is left now? My IP, na? Then you have to think and answer. Right? My IP. My IP meaning you have to secure by yourself. Only you should be accessing it, not everyone. If at all you want to give access to everyone, then go for everyone. My IP meaning access only to you. You have to secure by yourself, no? Yes. Question for you guys. If a brand new security group, I have created a new security group, and inbound rules are allowed or deny? Yes. All inbound rules are deny, and outbound rules? Yes. Outbound rules are allowed. Okay. So if you allow any inbound rules, do we need to allow that on outbound rules? If you allowed any inbound rules, guys, do you need to allow that on outbound rules? No need, na? You no need to allow that on outbound rules. Definitely. So guys, if you allow any inbound rules, you no need to allow that on outbound rules. And that is called here, we call it as stateful. What is that we call? We call it as stateful. That meaning, guys, security groups are stateful. Do you understand the meaning of stateful? Stateful meaning if you allow that any inbound rules, you no need to allow that on outbound rules. And what is that called? Stateful. So, guys, if you allow any inbound rules, you have to allow that on outbound rules. And what is that called? Stateless. Inbound rules, you have to must and should be allowed. That is called stateless. And guys, that is what we'll be talking now about NACL. NACLs are stateless. Guys, security are like bodybuilding full, there will be charged full. So just remember like that, security always full and rest NaCl are less. So in your certification question you will get which one are stateful and which one are stateless. So guys, remember security groups are always stateful and NaCls are stateless. And now I'll talk about NaCl. Is this clear till here, everyone? So you all understood, if you want to talk to the EC2 instance, first you need to talk to who? Security group. If any protocols is not allowed, it will not allow it. That's it. Let's say, for example, you have the EC2 instance and you are not able to connect to the, let's say that is a Linux EC2 instance. And now you are not able to connect through PuTTY. What is the problem? It is timing out. What is the problem? Yes, you have not opened the protocol in the security group in inbound rule. SSH protocol you have not allowed. That's the reason it is not allowing inside. So if you are not able to access any EC2 instance, first and foremost, you need to check what? Security groups. See security in security group, that protocol is inbound allowed or not. Everyone clear? So next very important thing, NaCl. What is NaCl? Not sodium chloride. Huh? Network access control list. Network access control list. Guys, this NaCl is same as security group only, but it is an another layer. It's an another layer of security for EC2 instance. It is an another, simply it's an another layer of security for the EC2 instance. So when do you go for it? So guys, if you want to write the security, yes, if you want to type the security, go with NaCl. Yes, you can think that, yeah, guys, same like security group, also, NaCl also has inbound rule and outbound rule. NaCls also has inbound rules and outbound rules, guys, like security group like itself. But as per this diagram, can you tell me, guys, which one will hit first, NaCl or security group? Which one will hit first? NaCl will hit first. We'll talk all the logics now, no issues. So remember, which one will hit first? NaCl will hit first and then security group. What is this NaCl and how do we use it? Let's see. Concentrate, guys. Get up, sit down. Those who are lying down on their stomachs. So this is Arivuto by Oi girls, you only mainly. Okay, so now so we have this. So guys, this is a, do you remember everything will start with the VPC, na? Guys, everything will start with the VPC. So we need to have the VPC first. Yes or no? Chicha? Who will provide the IP addresses for us for the EC2 instances? AWS. So guys, whenever you launch an EC2 instance, automatically AWS will provide the IP address. But how do AWS knows? How do AWS knows what type of IP address, what range, what number it should provide? So guys, this is all depend upon the VPC. I'll talk more about in VPC section, not now. But remember this, whenever you're setting up the VPC, you need to give the range. For example, this 192.168.0.0.16. You will give the range. You will give the whole network range of your VPC. Guys, VPC is nothing but the whole dabba, the whole security, the compound wall. So for compound wall, you are giving this network. Inside the compound wall, you will be using the same network for your EC2 instances. If you give like this, and AWS will go and take the IP addresses from this network range and it will assign to the EC2 instances. So you can take anything, guys. You can go with the 192.168 series, or you can go with 172 series, 172.13.00 series, anything, IP range. Right? Do you all agree that AWS has the default VPC also? Yes, now we'll be using the default VPC, and that default VPC also has the same network like 172. Already will be there. Okay, now you have the guys, you have constructed a big house. Inside that, you need to have your own bedrooms and living room, your own personal rooms, right? Isolated rooms. So inside this big network, can we create our own isolated network? Right? Can I create my own isolated network? And what is this isolated network called? That isolated networks are called subnets. What is that, guys? Subnet. So can I create multiple subnets? Yes. I don't have space. That's the reason why I have created only two. Subnet 1 and subnet 2. Can we create subnet 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10? Yeah. So whenever you're creating the isolated network, you have to give the range for this network. Na? From this parent, you need to get a baby here, like 192, 168 dot. Instead of 0, not unlimited. Instead of 0, put 1.0. Right? And this one here, 192, 168.2.0. This is another subnet, like 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. This you can create multiple subnets. Getting it, guys? Slowly. Don't think that and this. Just listen what I'm saying. Just understand what I'm saying. That's enough. We can create multiple subnets. Na? We can derive a small network from this big network. Okay. So now I have how many subnets here? 2 subnets. Na? So guys, where do I launch the EC2 instances? Inside the subnet. Na? I need to go and launch the EC2 instances here. Na? Inside the subnets. Yes, I can go and launch EC2 instance inside the subnets. Yes, yes. Now you tell me, this EC2 instance has availability zones or not? So that meaning the subnet is associated to one availability zone, and this subnet is associated to another availability zone. And if I have another subnet, that will be associated to another availability zone. How many availability zones are there in Mumbai? So if we have 3 availability zones, that meaning how many subnets will be there for default VPC? 3 subnets only, na? Huh? Okay, now we have 3. Okay, I can go ahead and create another subnet. That's fine. I'll put it in 1C. Can I create one more subnet? Subnet 4? Yes, I can create. But which availability zone? Can I put it in 1D? How do I use 1D? No. Which availability zone I can put it? Can I put it in again in 1A or 1B or 1C? Yes. 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 Hena? Okay. This subnet 1 can be in multiple availability zones at the same time. Chicha, understand the question. Subnet 1 can be in multiple availability zones at the same time. One subnet cannot be in multiple availability zones at the same time. He's not Allu Arjun saying that Ada unta, Ida unta. No. He will be there, Ada only. There, he'll be there only. He cannot be shared. Okay, now you tell me, one availability zone can have multiple subnets? See how deeply we are going, guys. Good. So now come back here. So we understood what is subnet and where and availability zones relations here. Now each EC2 instance will have its own security group inside it, or multiple EC2 instances can have multiple security groups like this. Yes. Now all of a sudden one hacker came, guys. All of a sudden hacker came, and you understood that he's hacking this subnet, and he's hacking using the protocol called SSH. He's hacking your subnet. You're hacking your EC2 instances here. This is the EC2 instance. He's hacking it on SSH. Can you tell me what you do immediately for this? Chapandi. Wow, change the key pair. You cannot change the key pair. I said na. Change the zone, ma. Guys, close the port. Add rule to SG. Guys, you have to use the technical words. Don't say it as close the words or add the rules. So you should say deny SSH to the security group. Write down that. Deny SSH protocol to the security group. That meaning what? Remove. You might have allowed the SSH, na? Delete that rule. Right? But problem here is there might be multiple security groups for all these EC2 instances, right? Is it easy to go in each and every security group and delay SSH? No. In that case only, this NACLs will come into picture. So this NACL, whenever you create an NACL like security group, guys, remember every subnet is associated to one NACL by default. One subnet is associated to one NACL. So on top, NACL will also be there. On top, NACL will also be there. Do you all agree that NACL also has inbound rules and outbound rules? So the specialty of NACL is, guys, you can deny SSH on NACL. So guys, SSH deny on NACL. Guys, NACL, we can specifically go and deny it. It will allow denying also. You can go ahead and deny also, guys. You can go ahead and then deny also. Is it possible to deny on security group? No, no. We cannot deny on security group, but you can say that, hey, in NACL, deny SSH. So guys, this NACL is attached to the entire subnet, na? NACL is not related to the EC2 instance. NACL is associated, it is on subnet level. So if you do this NACL, if you do inbound rules deny on NACL, it will affect to the entire subnet. That meaning how many hundreds of EC2 instances are there inside subnet, for all the EC2 instances, this SSH will be denied. Do you understand? So in shortcut, I would say security group is EC2 instance level and NACL is subnet level. Understood? Understood. So one subnet is associated to one availability, one NACL, na? You tell me, one subnet can be can be associated to multiple NACLs. Is that possible? One subnet cannot be in multiple NACLs. No, it will get confused. But one NACL, in one NACL have multiple subnets. Yes. See logic. See logic. Let's say I'll give another real time for you. See. So this is the EC2 instance. Okay, now this EC2 instance is secured by, right? Let's say this is Linux EC2 instance. This EC2 instance is secured by security group. And on top of it, it is secured by NACL. So in security group, in security group, SSH, I have allowed it. But in NACL, SSH denied. You tell me, is it possible for me to log into the EC2 instance using SSH? No, because SSH is denied over here. Understood, guys? This is a very, very deeper concept, but you understood it very clearly and easily. So I'll go even one more step ahead for you, just for you. Guys, I'll write, remember in childhood, we used to write a differences, na? So let's write a differences between security group and NACL. Okay, come on, guys. Whatever that you know, tell me. So security group also has see security group also sorry security group has inbound rules and outbound rules. Yes or no? Yes. Security group has inbound rules and outbound rules. NACL also has inbound rules and outbound rules. Do we have a default security group? Yes. But here also, do we have default NACL? Yes. Guys, one thing, we have a default NACL. Huh? We have a default NACL. So guys, see here, there will be a default NACL and all subnet is associated to the default NACL. But no one will talk about NACLs, guys. No one will talk about NACLs in any training because they concentrate morely on security group. Every time they talk about a security group inbound rules. Don't talk about NACLs. Guys, why they don't talk about NACL? Because in NACL, inbound rules are allowed or deny. Do you see the logic? So by default, NACL inbound rules are allowed. That's the reason why they don't talk about NACL. They talk about a security group. But if NACL inbound rules are denied, first they'll talk about NACL, then only they go for security groups. Understood? So here, security group will hit first, and then see, security group will security group will hit after NACL. And this one here, NACL will hit first and then security group. Next, by default, inbound rules are deny. By default, inbound rules are deny. But here, by default, inbound and outbound rules are default. Inbound and outbound rules are allowed because that is a default. Is it possible to deny anything here? You cannot deny on security group. But here on NACL, you can deny and allow also. And security groups are EC2 instance level. Yes or no? And this guy, NACL are subnet level. So guys, if you create any new security group, inbound rules are deny and outbound rules allowed. Guys, here NaCl. But if at all you create a new NaCl, if you create a new NaCl, that is dangerous. If you create any new cells, all inbound rules and outbound rules are deny. Guys, for default, it will just leave. But if at all you create a new one, definitely you have to take care of it. That meaning those are deny. So which one are stateful? Security groups are stateful. And this guy is NaCl are stateless. What is the meaning? If you allow any inbound, if there are any inbound rules, no need to allow that on outbound rules. That's the reason why we call it as stateful. But here, if you allow any inbound rule, you must allow that on outbound rule. That's the reason why we call it as stateless. Bye-bye. My hands are paining. Yeah, enough. Everyone clear? Super CC, na? Trickiest topic in easiest way. Take the screenshots. Okay. That's what I said. Manto enjoyment మామూలుగా ఉండదు. Let me know once you took the screenshot. Done. Second one. I told you many times, Virendra Naidu, you are not a poor student. You are understanding very clearly. And in if you go to companies, Telugu will not be used much. So I think I'm not using American accent, right? It's a normal English only, na. Try hard, huh? Yeah. Our village language only I'm here. Okay, good. Okay, so guys, can you give the final CC for today? Great. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.